We're going to start out by making the switch. So for this we need the two brass pins and the paper clip. Okay, so I made mine to kind of look like a smiley face or the mouth. But you can do whatever you like. So the first brass pin goes in and I measure them. See how I'm trying to make sure that the distance is enough so that we can make our connection with the paper clip on the other brass pin. And here I've just moved it so that it swings. If we take a closer look at our LED, you'll see that one side is longer than the other. The short side is the negative side, and then the longer side is the positive side. It's important that you get these two right because, of course, if we change the polarity, it'll affect our circuit and it might not work. So pay very close attention to which is the long side, which is the short side of your LED. So now we want to attach the LED eyes, and we're going to stick them carefully into the styrofoam. They slide in really easily, and we want both the negative sides of the LED to be in the middle, in the inside. So be careful that you put them in the right spot. So I'm just checking here to make sure that it's in the middle, it's in the right place. They should also be close enough, if you can do it, so that you can make the connection just with the LED, the ends of the LED, so we can just fold them over and they can touch. Doesn't have to be that way, but that keeps you from having to add more aluminum foil wire. So it should make a better connection. Here I put them in a little bit too wide apart. I pulled it apart before I slid it in and it didn't go all the way in. So be careful not to make that mistake. Okay, so we've got the back side here, and I'm going to start by folding down the negative side of the LED, and I want to make them, the two of them connect together. So again, if it's too far apart, you're going to have to add some aluminum foil, but here I didn't. And I want to fold my positive ends down toward the brass pin. And just make sure that they're folded in and that they won't pop up again. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to start cutting some aluminum foil. I'm using my aluminum foil, I guess, as a wire. Aluminum foil is a conductor, so it's going to conduct the electricity from the battery to the switch to the LED. So I'm just going to cut some thin strips, maybe a couple centimeters wide. And as long as I can get them, I'm just going to then cut them, trim them down to size for what I need. Okay, so once I've got that set, you see I'm going to make my first cut and just trim them a little bit down to size. That'll be a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to use Scotch tape to hold everything down. Now, the first thing I'm doing here is taping down my negatives, and this was a mistake. So you don't want to do this. Don't tape down your negatives. You'll see later I have to pick this off. So we're going to leave that one. So, like I said, do not tape this down. Later on I'm going to have to fix this. But I'm going to add my wire, my aluminum foil, underneath the positive leads of the LED. So I size them up. I clip it off with a pair of scissors. And I'm going to push down one side of the brass pin. That's the one side of the switch. Just the one side, though. I'm not using the other side. The other side will be used as the other part of the switch, and it's going to connect to the negative. So I use more Scotch tape just to hold it down. And just make sure you get that on nice and tight. You don't want anything coming loose. You need to maintain that connection. So make sure there's tape on the aluminum foil, there's tape on the styrofoam, there's tape on the LED if you need it, if it's exposed. And just get that down nice and tight, and you can put on as much as you want as long as it stays down. Okay, so here you see I've got to pick this off. It's a real pain. All right, so now I've got the tape off the negative sides. So I'm going to attach my aluminum foil. I slide that underneath. I want to make sure both of those leads are connected. They're touching each other and they're touching the aluminum foil. I'm going to snip this down to size. I want it to be out about as far as the brass pin. And then I'll tape it down. Again, you'll see that I'm taping over not only just the LED, the styrofoam, and the aluminum foil. Tape on every piece so it holds it all down. All right, I need to keep this other side exposed because I'm going to put my battery on there. Okay, so I'm going to bend this brass pin down, and I got to make sure it's like flush down with the styrofoam. So you have to push the other side of it as well. Push on both sides. I'm going to use another piece of aluminum foil as my wire. And I'm getting that underneath the aluminum, sorry, I'm getting it under the brass pin. Okay, and I'm going to snip it to size, even with the other aluminum foil that was going underneath the negative side. I'm just going to tape one side down right now. That's the side with the brass pin. I want to tape that down nice and tight. I'm not going to tape the other side down right now because I have to add the battery to it. So I'm going to sandwich the battery. The battery is going to go in between the top and the bottom piece of aluminum foil. Okay, so here you see my battery. I want the positive side, the plus. I'm going to want that on top. So I put it in between the aluminum foil, and I'm going to tape this down. You got to be very careful to make sure that it gets taped down firmly because we don't want it moving around. Okay, so I'm putting tape over both sides of the styrofoam container and also over the aluminum foil, holding in that battery tight. Okay, I'm going to check my connection, and when I touch, when I touch it, it should go in. It should go on. And if your paperclip falls off like mine did, just put it back on. And when you make the connection, your LED should light up. Just like that.